Yeah, of course, it's it was a little bit wild in the first half. There came an early goal, and then it opened up. Then I think we gained control over the game, did well, had some good opportunities and profited from a couple of them. And then, of course, we gave away a goal that kind of put them back into the game. And then, it's the first of two legs, and we just were a little bit too open in the first half. We closed it a little bit more down in the second, and there was not that many chances in the second half. It was a typical scrappy game where you play away against a good opponent, and now we have to win at home, and I hope that we're able to do so.
The same to you. I mean, what was it like as a player in that kind of back and forth first half? And do you guys feel like maybe you needed to calm things down a bit in the second?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first half was a little bit, first 10, 15 minutes were a bit hectic. Didn't do a good enough job of just putting our foot on the ball and controlling the game. I think that got better in the end of the first half, and then the second half, I think both teams were a little bit more compact and smart in terms of trying to get pressure, and so that made the game a little bit more close.
Ben, you also see a debut from Kenji Cabrera tonight. Just a few minutes, but what do you think of his performance?
Yeah, I think he looked lively and wanted to make an impression. He had an opportunity where he didn't take the shot, but apart from that, I think that he looked to have a good first touch, and it was not enough to really get into a deep analysis of his performance, I would say, but he's we've seen him just a couple of times in training sessions, and I think that he looks promising, and that's also why we brought him in. Congratulations to him on his debut. I know that he would have loved a win, but we'll have to save that for later on.
And has there been any distractions or eyes on a certain flight that arrived in Vancouver today?
No, not at all. Full focus on this, and that's what it's about. This game has been, taking all the attention for us, and of course it has.
Jesper, what did you make of the first goal? Obviously it comes early in the match, but I think more importantly you guys did well to rebound and get the first and the second goal eventually. Obviously the result at the end of the day is not great, but
no, but it's not a bad result either. We have been playing a lot of two legs game competition this year, and we usually start off with a draw. So and it's not that bad either. No, the first goal we were not ready. We were just turning the back to a throw in, and we were not ready. And of course, a big mistake from Björn. He mistimed the header, and we were just watching 1 against 2 in the back. And of course, that's not what you want to give away in a game like this, because you don't really want them to get ahead and utilize any kind of momentum. But I think we came back well and struck back, and then of course we did a big mistake again and kept them alive.
And then Brian, just with another goal as well for you guys, obviously comes off a little bit later on at the hour mark. Just any updates on that sort of knock and thoughts on the goal?
Thoughts on Brian's goal?
Yeah.
A great goal. I think for once we played underneath them, and we didn't do that enough. We struggled a little bit with doing the things that we've been doing well over the season, and we don't really have that rhythm at the moment. So, but in this occasion, we moved the ball well and played underneath, and then Brian came in and, like he'd done so many times before, and attacked that space.
Hello to both of you. Great to have you here, Neil. I'll start with you, Ralph. First half, 4 goals, and I think very different goals as to how they happened. In the second half, while there were chances, I guess you could argue was a bit more cautious. Is that the feeling you had either maybe after when the coach was speaking to you guys? Was that maybe the message, just to be calmed down a bit for the second half?
Do you remember what I said in the break?
Not really, but
Come on, my
I don't know
friend.
if calm it down is the right, I guess, way to say it, but I think we definitely wanted to not make the game harder for ourselves than it already was. I think they're obviously a good team, but I think, especially on the goals, we hurt ourselves more than they hurt us. So I think the second half was just about making sure we didn't do that again, and then just we're smart with the ball and good with the ball and try to pin them in.
Coach, a match like this, again, first time ever Vancouver Whitecaps faced Forge. You had experience against Valor. With this result, again, on the road, now you get to go home for the second leg. Is this one of those ones where you're relieved that it wasn't a loss and that you guys you're not definitely the favorites to advance?
I don't know if I think I'm relieved that we didn't lose the game. I'm actually not. We came out here for winning. So of course that's. But the way the game went, I think it got very tight in most parts of the second half, and there was not really that many moments where one of the teams could have profited. And I think that was just an accept of how the game went, and then of course we will have to see if we can win at home. So that's more or less what I think of the result. It's not that it was a relief. I had hoped that we could play with a little bit more control in the second half, especially towards the end. But we couldn't, and it was just a game where it got a little bit closed in the end, and nothing much happened.
So can I just ask you? You had mentioned that they're a good team. What is it about them that may have impressed you, or is there anything there that surprised you about them when you actually had them on the pitch?
Yeah, but I think they had some very good players in this game, and I think that they're also very well organized. We were not able to capitalize on some of the spaces that opened up for us because we were not playing fast enough. So, yeah, I think it was a game where we've seen a lot of those games in the cup where the home team also had the advantage of being familiar with the pitch and also the ball and profiting from maybe the small things you gain when you play at home. So I think it was a good team, and I've seen them many times, and I think that it's a team that that really deserves all the credit I can give, because I think it looks very well coached and very well organized.
Thanks. We'll do one more question on Zoom. Michael?
Hey Jesper and Ralph. It felt the defence was playing a lot closer to Isaac than maybe it does when you're playing with Yohei in goal. Was that by design, or was that just how the game played out?
Is it to me or Ralph?
To you, Jesper.
Okay, no, it was not by design, but in the second half we had, we're not compact enough in the first half. They found the space in between midfield and our defense line, and we had to close that down, and then we became maybe a little bit more passive, also going from the front. But sometimes you play closer to the goalkeeper because you don't want to give away the back space. And sometimes you're forced to play a little bit closer to the goalkeeper because your opponents make some good solutions, and that's just it wasn't by design. But in the half at halftime we talked about that we should play a little bit closer together.
Okay, thank you.
And with Ryan's getting taken off, I know it was precautionary, but he had a similar incident down in Miami. Any concerns there, or is he going to be good to go?
It's always concerning when a player has something that he needs to leave the pitch, but we'll see. We're at a stage of the season where, of course, we need to also take everything into consideration with player availability and also not risking too much.